What's happening to the weather around the world? Many countries which were considered to be wonderful places in the world, experiencing droughts, famines, floods, etc. And how these are all connected with end times and Bible prophecy coming up. Hello, Pastor Georgy here from pointed2eternity.com, and welcome back to another Strategic Trends update. See, when Jesus was giving the Olivet Discourse regarding the signs of his coming, he mentioned many things. Out of them, one was, "And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." In Luke 21 verse 11, the word pestilences also is found along with famines, etc. So, Jesus was not talking about climate change. He was telling that there will be natural calamities and disturbances, all of them increasing in number as his coming gets closer. So they are signs, and a wise child of God should realize that Jesus' coming is getting closer, really closer each moment. So in this update, we wanted to bring to your attention the weather disturbances happening around the world. For some time, people used to think that certain countries in the world are wonderful to live and stay. But in the recent times, many factors have come up wherein many people have asked whether those countries are wonderful anymore. So one of those factors is the weather disturbances. See, this summer, Europe witnessed a series of heat waves and droughts like never before. Over 64% of Europe is facing drought. Over 47% of Europe is under a warning. Over 17% of Europe is facing drought alert. Look at the Doubs River along the French-Swiss border. Normally, every year at this time, you can see cruise boats sailing over the water. But look now. In Germany, it's the same. Lack of sufficient rainfall, rising temperatures, water level in Rhine River going down drastically. And England had its driest July since 1935 with their share of heat waves too. The water level in many reservoirs are falling steadily, and it is the lowest in 25 years. France had the driest July of all time. It's also facing the worst drought of all time. Northern Italy is also facing severe lack of rainfall, with the Po River completely drying up. All of these have affected the crop production in Europe, causing around 9% drop in production of maize, soybeans, sunflowers, sugar beet, etc. The rivers drying up has resulted in the fall in the electricity production, adding to the issues. Spain's Iberian Peninsula is facing its driest season in 1200 years. Some historic dam reservoirs are more than 80% empty. And coming to France, France has been battling wildfires, destroying 7,000 hectares of vegetation and pine forests, houses destroyed, and more than 10,000 people have been evacuated. And it's not just Europe, but come to Africa. The worst drought in 40 years has hit the Horn of Africa. 4 consecutive failed rainy seasons have caused this worst drought. Around 20 million people are affected, and communities face starvation. Lack of food, water for people as well as animals, children's education being affected, and at the same time there is also social unrest and even desert locusts destroying the crops too. And after the droughts come the issue of floods. France faces flash floods now. Paris' main metro stations are all affected. 1 month's rainfall quantity fell in just 1 hour, causing such massive flooding. And coming to Asia, South Korea has faced its heaviest rainfall in over 115 years, causing severe floods and loss of life. And come to China. South China is facing extreme heat and drought ever recorded. China's rivers, including Asia's largest river, Yangtze River, and reservoirs are drying up. There is a severe water crisis as well as energy crisis. Over 141,000 hectares of crops damaged due to drought. China is the world's largest producer of rice, wheat, and potatoes, and the production of all these are affected. Already there is a shortage of grain due to the Russia-Ukraine war, and because of the drought conditions, China's economy is also severely affected. When South China is facing drought, Northern China has been experiencing flooding and landslides. At the same time, some other parts of England are preparing for flash floods. The Cornwall and Devon regions are experiencing floods right now. And to top it all up, the Arctic region is warming up 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. And scientists say rain could replace snow in the Arctic. And in the Antarctic, 90% of the ice is starting to disintegrate. Rising sea levels will submerge islands and coastal areas of many countries. And a recent study has said that flooding, heat waves, and droughts have multiplied 58% of the known infectious diseases. 218 infectious diseases have been made worse because of this extreme weather. And viruses are becoming more immune to heat. Rising heat and floods are triggering the spread of diseases. Dear people, this world will not and cannot go on forever. God has set a time to put a stop to this world. See, in the Bible it says, "Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away." See, what we read now, that is happening after the 1,000-year reign of Christ, or the millennial rule of Christ on earth from Jerusalem. So this steady increase of natural disasters, floods, droughts, famines, pestilences, etc., along with wars and rumors of wars, all of them point to the nearness of Jesus' coming. So is it all gloom and doom? Absolutely not. There is hope. And what's that hope? The rapture is even closer. You see, before that 1,000-year rule of Christ on this earth, it's the 7-year Great Tribulation period. And before that 7-year Great Tribulation period, it's the rapture of the church, wherein Jesus Christ will appear in the mid-heavens to take his true church in the rapture. So that's the hope for a truly born-again child of God. The rapture is so close. See, Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." So you need to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior and live a life pleasing Jesus daily in order to be taken in the rapture. Otherwise, you would be left behind on this earth to face the Antichrist. So we would want to lovingly encourage you. Would you submit your life to Jesus if you have not done already? And will you live a life each day pleasing Jesus? If so, may the Lord bless you. And as we hear all these things, let's keep our eyes focused on Jesus and always remember, you have only one life. Make it count for Jesus. And by the way, if you are blessed by this message, be sure to hit that like button. And also, if you are not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe by pressing that subscribe button and also pressing that bell notification so that you would continue to receive blessed messages and updates like this on this same channel.